So there is still a very strong Conservative retiree vote, which could well get the Liberals across the line again this time around. But there is a changing face. Perhaps if it's not this election, it could be the ones after this. Now, wherever I've been this week, and that includes here on the Gold Coast, everything that's said to me in response to what's going wrong at the moment is cost of living. Cost of living, cost of living. Whether it's residents, whether it's small businesses, or whether it's the large businesses as well.
When we do look at the last couple of years and, some of the increases that we've seen in terms of our overall cost base, which is very large, as you can imagine, across all of our businesses, we're about to come out of an energy contract. We're probably looking at near on 100% increase on our energy costs
100%
across the board. So that's a real concern. Obviously, insurance continues to tick up.
So that's Village Roadshow. That's the majority of the theme parks around the Gold Coast. An energy bill that is upped by 100%. You do the math on that. That is going to be significant. So when it comes to the local candidates in this seat of McPherson, we already spoke to the Liberal candidate a little bit earlier. Some big shoes to fill, though, by replacing Karen Andrews, that is.
What people are telling me is the vibe has been pretty good. There's been a lot of support for us. Yes, there have been a lot of people who are traditional Labor voters as well. This is the most contested seat in Queensland. We have 12 candidates. So we're seeing a lot of people going from different parties. But at the end of the day, I think people are respecting the fact that I've been out there for a long time and I'm actually talking about the issues that matter.
So, as we've been mentioning all morning, the biggest threat for the Liberal Party appears to be the Teal Independence, and we've got the candidate with us now. It's Akana Murray-Bartlett, not to be confused with the Australian actor. I'm sure you get that. He's a terrific actor, by the way. But anyway, Akana, the blue wall, it's never cracked here in McPherson. What makes you believe that it will this time around?
Well, there's a huge appetite for change here on the Gold Coast. There's a definite shifting demographic as people have realised the secret of the beauty of the Gold Coast here. I think what people are realising the most is because of being a safe seat, we've been absolutely taken for granted. We've never shifted from LNP. And when a party assumes it has your vote, the needs of the community fall by the wayside. So
what are the issues that you're hearing and what are you pledging to do for them?
The number one thing, as we've been talking about, is cost of living. I think specifically here on the coast, under that is housing affordability. I mean, someone that earns a really great salary, $100,000, would be losing 54% of that salary to rent, which is an astronomical amount. And that's squeezing the 75,000 small businesses we have here on the coast as the workforce has to move into more affordable suburbs. So that is one of the big things that I'll be focusing on, a national housing and homelessness plan to make sure that the policies that we put to the table aren't just three-year election cycles, but have a sustainable future.
What do you want to do on energy, though? I mean, because you've just heard from Clark, the CEO of Village Roadshow. I mean, his energy bill's about to go up by 100%. Now, that's just not a Gold Coast thing. That's across the board. So what do you want to do about that? Because I know the Teal Independence are very strong about renewables, but that's not working.
I wouldn't say it's not working. I'm definitely big on subsidising batteries for both small businesses and for households. I mean, we had Cyclone Alfred come through here a few weeks ago and businesses here had to close their doors for up to 10 days. That's a huge amount of income lost. Making our small businesses and regular businesses and households energy independent is going to be a massive cost saver for people.
Okay, there's some criticisms of you, primarily around the Climate 200 backers. You are backed by them, of course. You are pro-environment and you have spoken about voting green in the past. So folks might be inclined to ask you the question, well, aren't you just a green in disguise?
They can ask that, and yes, I have an entire background in advocating for our climate, but people are talking about climate here. Look where we live. It's an amazing place and it's so vulnerable to climate change with Cyclone Alfred just coming through. What I'll be doing as a community representative is listening to the community and fighting for what the community needs, irrespective of party lines.
You're a business owner, small business owner. So there's an opening with the Liberal Party. More so to be pro-business. Why didn't you join the Liberal Party? Because
the community is being taken for granted here by the LNP,
What do you mean taken for granted?
A really good statistic for you. So in the last 3 years, if you look at the discretionary federal grant funding across Australia, there was $900 million. So if you divide that by the 151 electorates, you should be receiving $6 million each. Do you know how much we got here in McPherson? $45,000. That's less than 1%. We have seen our critical infrastructure dropped off priority lists, the heavy rail to the airport for one, because we're being taken for granted. I cannot express this enough. When a party assumes it has your vote, the needs of the community, our critical infrastructure, fall by the wayside. And we are the 6th largest city in Australia and the fastest growing economy, yet despite these economic contributions, we're being taken for granted.
Another criticism is you're not from here. And people, for the most part, they don't like parachute candidates.
Yep.
What's your response to that?
Well, my family has been here for a really long time, living in Mudgee Bar, but I've travelled and lived all over the world. I went to college in the US and in the UK, and I've lived in various places in Australia, and I think it gives you a really worldly perspective. You know, you can see these outside things that are going well all over the world, things that are not going well, and bring them here to make the Gold Coast a better place.
You would certainly beat your opponent in a marathon.
I would hope so.
150 marathons you did in 150 days? Was
Yes.
that consecutively?
Yes, so
Just
it was
want to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
You did what, a marathon 40 Ks?
42.195. Don't
Every
shortchange
day?
me there. Yeah, every day. From Cape York to Melbourne.
It's incredible
6,332 Ks.
All right.
Takes grit, determination.
It does. You got a profile out of that too. You got some publicity out of it. So well done on achieving that. But
Thank
best
you.
of luck this weekend. And just a final note here on the changing face of the region. I've been talking about this as well. It's often seen as an inevitability in some parts because of a younger, more progressive vote that's coming in. If it's not this election, are you sticking around? Do you see it potentially coming more into play in 3 years?
Yes, I mean, I'm absolutely focused on May 3rd, and I'm throwing everything at May 3rd. But, you know, in the chance that it doesn't happen, yeah, I think having a strong candidate in 2028 will keep the LNP kind of focused on making sure the Gold Coast is being looked after.
All right, Akana, I really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
We'll
Peter.
talk to you again soon.
Appreciate it.
So there you go. We've heard from the Teal Independent and also the Liberal candidate. Yeah, they're not so much worried about the Labor Party this time around. It's more the Teals. So we'll see how that goes. Well, there's a different teal colour though, I should say. You might have noticed there is the yellow hats they're wearing instead of that teal kind of aqua colour. But anyway.